Hello my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato GMO Danger 5 achievement run. We are almost through all the achievement unlocks. I think there's only 3 left, so we'll have to figure out another mod or something to do after this, but I'm still excited to see what combos are coming up next. Let's see what we've got. It's the Masochist and the Knight. I will also say, if you didn't see my last run with the Old and the Soldier, go check that one out. It was so much fun. I did the No Moving Challenge, which is one of Brotato's hardest challenges, and had a great time doing it. So Masochist and Knight, that's an interesting one. I think that will also be a very powerful combination. At least that's my initial feeling, because Masochist gives you a bunch of bonus stats, Knight gives you a bunch of bonus stats, the ability to add in swords and HP regeneration and a lot of starting armor to your Masochist will work really well with the Knight, but let's, I guess, see how this works. So Masochist gives us extra damage when we take damage, but we start with minus 100%. We get a bunch of HP, armor, and regeneration in exchange for that. And then Knight gives us extra melee damage for every armor we have, extra armor, but we can't use ranged weapons, and our attack speed is lower. We can't really use harvesting effectively either. We can also only use level 2 and higher weapons, although we can, in theory, start with a level 1 weapon because we have the Masochist starting weapons available as well. But let's just go for the strongest build we can make here. I think that'll be fun. I have been doing a bunch of sort of artificially challenging runs, so let's just see how powerful we can get if we go for the sword and just slash things while taking damage. So on the Masochist, of course, we want to walk into enemies as much as we can, and that can be a challenge in the early game because we're going to end up with slower clear speeds and less income than most other characters, but I guess because we start with so much damage and the Knight bonuses, we actually do just fine from that. We could take melee damage here, we could take percent damage. Basically, percentage damage you'll have a lot of on Masochist, but the faster you can start building it, the better. Or we could just roll for armor. Harvesting, of course, would be my normal pick, but the Knight can't really use it, so we're not going to take that. We'll just take 1 armor here, because anything that you improve in terms of your armor acquisition for the Knight is excellent. We'll lock the sword here. I will buy the cake, and then I'm going to buy the lumberjack shirt, because this can help us kill trees before we've built any Masochist damage. And then even though we can't roll a sword, a reroll to see 3 items, or 2 items effectively for 2 is too good to pass up. So we're going to roll once, and then I'm going to roll again. Because these are very cheap rerolls that can give us a chance to see a bag or an economy item very early. And in fact, we did get a chance to lock a lost duck, which is something that we want here. So very happy with that. We'll still buy as much attack speed as we see, even though the benefits of it are lowered. And obviously the other thing that we really want on this character is anything that damages us. So if we find Bloody Hand, if we find blood donation, that we can consistently build damage with that without having to walk into enemies, which obviously is very powerful. 58 materials, I feel like that might not be enough. Yeah, we still haven't found enough to buy a sword. I guess I should have saved some because the sword was going to be expensive. So I should have tried to save a few more materials than I did, but we will still do 1 more reroll here, and then I could try to save materials, but I'm just going to buy the snake. We're going to end up just not buying a lot of early weapons, and that'll be fine. Or the cake, not the snake. Did I buy... Okay, yeah, I did in fact buy the cake. I was like, I meant to buy the cake, and I thought that's what I said, but... and I thought that's what I did, but I said snake. And sometimes when you misspeak like that, you also misclick like that. Finally have enough money to actually buy our sword here. We'll take bonus luck here, and this is an awesome find. This is why the early luck was so good too. Even though this is only worth half as much, the attack speed is still super valuable for this character. Let's roll and see if we can lock another sword. We're fairly likely to, because Blade is a very small weapon tag, Medieval's a small weapon tag, and we've already got swords. So we're quite likely to see more swords. I'm not going to bother with Ugly Tooth. I don't think this character wants to increase our move speed so we can run into enemies. And the goal is just going to be to have enough regen and lifesteal that we can tank through anything that comes our way. For that reason, I will also take the Butterfly. I could buy melee damage from the Hedgehog, but reducing my HP regeneration is fairly painful, and I'd rather just get melee damage from armor because of the Knight bonus. So actually buying melee damage on the Knight I think is not necessarily correct. Typically on the Masochist you want to walk into projectiles whenever you can. Those are more efficient ways to take damage because they do lower damage than the actual enemies themselves. Right now our armor is high enough that it doesn't matter, but that will be important later on. Trying to maximize my wave clear here. Definitely want to clear that pod out and also clear out that tree. And we're starting to make decent money per wave now. I'll take 10% attack speed. That's definitely going to be important later on. We'll take a sword here. I could take the Jousting Lance. I could also try the Magic Barrier. The armor is kind of interesting. Obviously, we aren't using elemental damage that much on this character, but we could maybe try to do some kind of elemental thing. I don't think that's wise, but just because it gives armor, it's kind of a neat idea. I think we're going to pass on the Jousting Lance. I'm just going to go for all swords all the time, but I'll buy the Butterfly and roll. I will lock the Beanie, lock the Defective Steroid, still good for this character. And then I'm guaranteed to see one weapon in the shop at least, so I'm going to reroll for 8 and see if we can lock another sword. Couldn't, but that's okay. Either the hammer or the Jousting Lance would be fine pickups here, but I like the theming of just having all swords, so we're just going to stick to that. Unless I get really cool weapons later on. Plus, having the medieval and blade tags gives us a lot of free stats that we want, so all of those together are very good. Now killing enemies too quickly to be taking damage, but of course once we are doing enough damage to one-shot everything on the field, we don't actually need to be tanking any more damage. It's not like there's no points for overkill. We'll take the coffee here, and I'll take the luck, and then I'll take 1 armor. Just increasing armor is really important for this character. Cyberball will be pretty nice for us as well, I think. So I think I will buy that, and then I'll roll. Still looking for another sword. Do I want the garden? I think I can pass on the garden. I'm just going to roll. Take another sword. Fertilizer we're not going to bother with because the harvesting penalty is too severe to buy fertilizer. I do need some max HP. More regeneration would of course be nice. But we so quickly reach very high damage because our base damage is incredibly high thanks to our high starting armor and the fact that armor gives us melee damage. So we're not falling that far behind in terms of clear speed. I'm not sure that the Cyberball is going to be that useful. Right now it's doing 5 damage. As I am able to buy more percentage damage, it'll be more useful for the early parts of waves as well. Just walking into enemies as much as I can. We'll have to start managing our HP later on, but for now, just picking up as many materials as possible and walking into enemies as much as possible is the way to go. Dodge is still good for this character. We're still building a tank, like a defensive character, so anything that multiplies your HP is still very valuable. So I will just pick up 9% dodge because it's 9%. That's a lot. Take the Scar. I'll take another sword, and I am actually going to... I guess I can reroll still. I do want to reroll with my 9 remaining, so we'll spend this because I really do want to lock more swords if possible. Do I want the compass here? Move speed would be pretty important for this character. Crit chance is not that important. I mean, it's a good multiplier to our damage, but our damage is going to be incredibly high anyways. So the question of whether I want the compass, I think, is a fairly interesting one. I think this will be good. Movement speed is very useful to a Masochist character because you can walk into enemies more reliably. Try to take as many hits as possible near the beginning of the wave so that we don't have to take hits near the end of the wave. stone skin would be like the best item we could find, of course. And now that we've got 4 swords with a 5th locked, we're doing really well. So, this is not intended as a challenging run, but, you know, sometimes it's nice as a palate cleanser to just have a nice, easy one. Yeah, I'll take the black belt. It's early enough that I think this is still valuable, even though we have the scar. 3 melee damage isn't incredible, but it's not 0. Reducing our luck is definitely painful, but still worth it. Do I want the forearms? I think I actually want 15 luck more than 8 melee damage. Our melee damage is insanely high right now, so the only thing that I really want is, like, I want other stats that scale our damage more than that, and we'll continue to buy armor as we see it. Do I want the 12% damage, which just means fewer hits we have to take before our damage comes online, or do I want the max HP? I think I will take the max HP. Just getting that going a little bit earlier I think will be quite valuable for us as well. By this, this, and this, and then I'm 1 short of being able to reroll, which is a little unfortunate. I thought I would have enough to reroll there, but nope. Managed to perfectly dodge that enemy. I should be leaving the shooters alive as much as I can, although I managed, again, to dodge all their shots, because I do want to walk into the projectiles if possible, since that's a very efficient way to start building damage. Now that we've got a decent amount of damage, I can just start killing them. But this character is going to struggle a little bit on this wave all the time, because it's a lot of high health enemies, so taking a lot of damage instances is hard. The damage instances are higher. The enemies individually hit harder, and there's fewer of them that you can actually get hit by, so building our damage is a little harder this wave than on other waves. So that's why we only made 250, which is a little low, but still not terrible. I'll take the Blood Leech. We can be at negative harvesting, and we do want more regeneration and everything, and I'll just take 3 regeneration, because I do want to start building that up as well. Even though I've talked about not needing to buy melee damage, Mastery is such an efficient item that I'm going to buy it anyways. Let's roll. I'm not going to buy the Bean Teacher. We've already got a lot of bonus XP, so I don't think we need it. I will not buy the Snail either. I'm going to roll one more time to see if we can actually find another sword. We didn't, but the gold-plated teeth obviously is incredible. I will see if this item is too powerful. I think I may be banning it like marksmanship, because I think this item is probably overpowered, but I'm going to give it one more shot and see how powerful it is, and then we'll buy the little muscly dude here. So I haven't bought it in like a normal run like this yet. And maybe there's something I'm missing about how strong that item is. It seems wildly overpowered, but maybe I'm missing that the downsides are more severe than I expect. It's important to have a hypothesis about that kind of thing, but also important to test it. Though, I'll be honest, I would say my confidence rating on that hypothesis is extremely high. I think that item is going to prove to be broken in half. Yeah, we'll definitely take the Razor Blade. That's part of why I bought items like Compass earlier, because it makes it easier to buy items with negative speed that you want, and this is a good one. Riposte is going to be good as well. That will just deal a ton of bonus damage, because we are going to build dodge as we continue to level up. Here, I'm just going to reroll this. 4 melee damage I don't think is significant to us. I'll take 9% speed, though. And then 4 regeneration, so we can take damage more reliably. And then here I'm just going to take the HP. Again, the melee damage is nice, but we've got so much of it, I value other things more right now. By the gold-plated teeth, and then by the little muscly dude. Missile, minus 2% attack speed for plus 10% damage. That's 2 fewer hits that we have to take before our damage gets capped, so we'll buy that. I'm going to re-roll here. We'll buy Compass and Razor Blade again, and I'll re-roll again. Get to lock another sword finally, and then also Lucky Charm is going to be very good for this character as well. We're the Masochist, and our weapons start with 5 base damage. That's pretty ridiculous. Just because of the insanely high melee damage that we have right now. I don't know if this is like the easiest GMO combo in the game, but it's got to be up there. Knight, I think, is in general the easiest Danger 5 character. So if you're looking to get your first win on Danger 5, Knight or Doctor, I think are the 2 easiest. And Masochist is also quite easy as well. It looks like it's going to be difficult, but once you kind of figure out how to play it wave to wave, it's very powerful. I'm going to recycle the book here because we have Recycling Machine. Often I'll buy random items like this. I'll take random items like this that are offered in crates because it'll be like, the opportunity cost will be like 4 materials, and it's 1 more regen if we find Fairy, but we don't have Fairy yet, and 13 materials is worth picking up. I don't think we need more movement speed here. I'm going to re-roll this. I think we can do better. Yeah, we'll take 3 armor. That's obviously an incredible amount of damage and survivability for us. Get to max out our weapon set, so the medieval weapon set now giving me 3 armor and 6% dodge, 5 melee damage, and 5 lifesteal from the blade weapon set, so the sword's really giving us a lot of bonus stats as well. Roll here, we'll take Tentacle. We're not going to take Triangle of Power, although it is funny because you can actually buy Triangle of Power on the Masochist, since the Masochist bonus counteracts the Triangle of Power bonus. It is not as horrible as it seems like it's going to be to buy Triangle on the Masochist. Like, basically, you get 4 hits for free, but that at the cost of every subsequent hit being worth 60% as much damage, which in some cases is a reasonable trade, but in this case, I don't think it is. We're gonna roll here, and I'll take another Blood Leech, then we can just avoid dying. Again, I don't think we need Ugly Tooth at all. Gonna walk into these enemies here. Just stand on top of the rib cages. Once I've taken quite a bit of damage, though, I do need to back off a little bit and not tank down too low. It's not likely that we die, but it would be very embarrassing if I died. And had to post a video of me losing this run. If that did happen, you have my word, I would post it. Game is... I'm getting like a little bit of weird lag. I wonder if the Masochist is kind of lagging my game a little bit just because it's redoing the math every time. And the fact that that's also redoing the Knight math and everything is making the game hiccup a little when it has to redo my stats every time I take damage. Definitely taking Poisonous Tonic, this is great. And then here, another level 4 melee damage. I guess against a bunch of level 2 upgrades, I'll take it. Just even more damage for us, and we'll take the crit chance here as well. Plasma Sledgehammer. That's a fun alternative to the swords, but I'm kind of liking just being mono swords, so let's just go with that. And take another sword. 17 speed, and it cost me 3 crit chance to buy the compass. I think we'll pass. Let's roll here. We'll take a Broken Mouth. Marksmanship is... So I have mentioned this a couple times, but this item has proven to be just too powerful, so we're not going to be taking it in future runs. Obviously, we wouldn't be taking it here anyways, but I will be avoiding this weapon in future runs, or this item in future runs. We'll take the Propeller Hat, and then I'm going to roll again. Cute Monkey is pretty nice for healing, so we'll grab that, and then let's go fight the Elite. So I want to tank hits from things that aren't the elite mostly to build up my damage, and then we can go over there and kill it. Because, of course, the elite does more damage than the other things. But I do need to tank a lot of hits to get my damage to the point where we can rapidly kill the elite, so I'm just trying to take as many hits as I can without getting too low from everything. And this is fairly difficult. This is typically a difficult elite for melee characters because it dodges away from you, as you can see, and then charges you, so melee characters have a much harder time maintaining their spacing against it than ranged characters, but luckily, this melee character is invincible, so it's not an issue for us. Would love to see Bloody Hand or Blood Donation. That would increase our damage output massively. That would be really fun. Heavy Bullets doesn't do anything for us. The 10% damage is fine, but 124 materials is better. And then, yeah, I'll take the Wheat. The 4 melee damage is a minor benefit. The 10 harvesting is very small, but it does get me back to positive harvesting, which I guess isn't nothing. We'll take 20 luck here. I think more luck will be pretty nice. Leather Vest is awesome for this character. Great find. More dodge is kind of the only thing we need to be as survivable as possible. Let's upgrade our swords some more. And then roll, lock another sword, and we get to take a metal plate, which is even better. And then I'm going to roll once more for 30, just to see if we can lock anything that's really useful. Take another sword. Improved tools, I am actually going to take. This character really just wants any attack speed that you can get, so even very inefficient attack speed halved, I think is still worth buying. If you see how much damage we're doing per swing, you can see how even 5% attack speed is worth so much to this character. Not to mention that it improves our lifesteal and everything as well. Still getting a little bit of weird lag. I don't know if that's showing up on the recording so much. Doesn't look like I'm dropping frames or anything. I think this combo is just giving the game a mini heart attack every time it has to recalculate all my stats on the fly. Oh, there's a loot alien over there. Got him. Not making the most money in these waves because our harvesting is not that high, but and typically you'll have like quite reasonable harvesting at this point, but 500 for these waves isn't awful. We'll recycle the fuel tank, we'll recycle the energy bracelet, we don't really need, I guess 4% crit chance. Would I spend 75 on 4% crit chance? Probably not, so I'll recycle that. I'll take the max HP, and then I will just buy out this whole shop. So we'll upgrade our swords, and then we get a level 4 sword as well. Level 4 swords are pretty fun. They do 60 base damage and have relatively faster attack speed, which is pretty nice. It's a reroll for free here. Gentle Alien is a great find. Broken Mouth, also a great find. Let's roll again, and then will I take the bat? I don't think we need that much lifesteal, so I'm just going to go to the next wave. I want a decent number of the goobers to spawn, so I'm killing the summoners quickly, because even though their projectiles hit pretty hard so that we can be in some danger, having a few of them on the field means more possibilities for us to tank damage. Now that I've taken enough damage that I can one-shot everything, though, we're just going to be running around killing stuff. My positioning on the field doesn't really matter because we're almost invincible at this stage. You know, I don't want to get too cocky at this point, because obviously that's how you lose these easy runs, is just by through hubris. We'll recycle the fertilizer here. Warrior helmet, of course, amazing for the knight in general. And then I'm going to take 9% speed. Our speed has dipped down to 12, and I like being fast on this character. Glass Cannon costs me a lot in order to buy it, but is at least somewhat interesting. So we lose 3 armor, which costs me a pile of melee damage, but 25% damage when our damage starts this negative is still a pretty big boost. So I think I will buy the Glass Cannon. I would have to do a little more math to see whether that increases our damage, but I think overall it should. Lock another sword, buy a tree and the cake, and we'll lock the duct tape and go fight this next elite. I'll walk into the group of enemies if I can. Tank a couple hits from the elite here, just to get things moving. Having some trouble taking damage here. There we go. Now that we're up to a couple hundred per swing, it's a lot easier for me to actually kill the elite. Trying to clear the ads, because we can actually, in theory, get overwhelmed. If I tank too many hits. Making pretty decent money this wave, but still not the most amazing money we've ever made. We'll take the blindfold here for sure. Another heavy bullets? I mean, come on. Why you gotta do me like this, game? We'll take the spicy sauce, though. That's a nice boost, and 4 more armor is great. Let's continue to upgrade some swords. Buy some more armor. Roll again. I'll buy a beanie. And then I don't need any of these other things. Let's roll again. We could have had a lot of... I could have had a lot of XP gain. I was offered a ton this game. Plant cost me 1% lifesteal for some regen, but actually I think that's a good trade. Our regen is much more important than our lifesteal, so I'll probably take that. We'll take this, and then I will take the cute monkey again. Do I want the mushroom? -2 luck for 3 regen. I think I do, and we'll take the riposte as well. Yeah, it's funny. I didn't have this much lag. I mean, it's not, the lag isn't horrendous or anything, but it's definitely noticeable that the game is having a hard time with this combination. And I didn't even have it have this much on, like, the Explorer run or the various Fedora runs or whatever that we had. Or the Entrepreneur Farmer run. Critting for 350, which is pretty respectable. Could be better, though. I guess when it's offered for free like this, I'll take the Ugly Tooth, just to keep elites next to us a little better, and then I'll take crit chance over melee damage. I think that's going to be more in terms of actually improving our damage. Let's combine and buy the sword, and the riposte, and the mushroom, and roll. Upgrade our sword. And I'll buy another beanie. I'll lock another cyber ball. All these cyber balls are doing fine for us, I think. Almost maxed out on swords, too. Let me walk into a few of these guys just to get things rolling, too. Still hoping for a Bloody Hand. Bloody Hand would be incredible because it would boost our damage by a ton too, as well as then further boosting our damage every time we took a hit. So that's right now the #1 item for us. Hard to tell whether the baby elephants and cyber balls are actually doing anything. I think the amount of damage that they're outputting is just not high enough. Even with our relatively high luck, just because our weapon attacks do so much. Regeneration potion obviously is incredible for this character, so we'll take that. We'll recycle the turret. My max HP is so high, I don't think I need any more. I'm going to reroll. I think we can do better than this. I'll take 5 regeneration. That's great. Let's upgrade our swords even further. Almost maxed on swords. Definitely going to take the lure. And we'll take a defective steroids here as well. Yeah, the lure. We will still have time to actually make use of the items we get from the lure. Because we'll get it for wave 19, so we will actually get to open those boxes. Obviously, if you buy lure going into the boss wave, you never get to use the lure items. So it can still sometimes be right because you might want the regeneration, and you might just want more enemies on the field in order to give you crates, which can help you heal, and in order to lifesteal off of. So lure can still be a very good item in the boss wave, but obviously it's not an economy item at that point. I'm now just playing the game of trying to catch all the projectiles. I'm not really paying attention to where the enemies are, but I want to hit as many of these projectiles as I can. I will break that tree, though. Our income is getting actually really weak in these later waves. I think enemies may not... I think the game may be lagging a little, and the frame drops are causing enemies to not drop materials sometimes, is I think what's happening. Because I feel like we should be making a lot more money in these later waves. We're one-shotting everything and all that, but the number of enemies on the field, and there's a lot of enemies on the field, so I feel like we should be making more money. But as it turns out, we are not, so I think... Honestly, I think the game is probably lagging and preventing us from getting material drops. Here's one loot alien. Let us defeat it. And the other loot alien has been destroyed as well. Yeah, I'm watching my material counter, and this wave it's counting up pretty regularly. Wow, we got a lot of loot aliens here. I guess just the issue is just we have no harvesting, we have no bags, we have no forms of economy items, basically, so we're just not gaining economy in the ways that most normal characters would. I think also combined with potentially lag is causing me to miss out on some item drops. I'll take the hedgehog when it's free like this. We'll take the ritual, of course. Yeah, I'll take plant as well. Peacock we will pass on. Razorblade we'll take, and then we'll just take 4 more armor. Oh, there's the bag. There's the bag we needed. We'll take whetstone, I think, and I will take glass cannon. Now with only minus 40% damage, our attacks actually just do 106 from the start. Exoskeleton is going to be incredible for this character, and then probably lure and mushroom are the best we can do. Oh, never mind. Just mushroom was the best we could do. I didn't think we'd be able to roll into anything better, but I also didn't do the math. I'll roll again, and sure, we'll take a plant to go up to 40 regen. Never found, sadly, a bloody hand or anything like that, but obviously our damage is ridiculous. We have 126 melee damage, we have 39 armor and 30% dodge, and we ended up with a massive pile of regeneration and HP. Come on, let me... trying to walk into those attacks. Tank some damage so we can get our damage rolling, and then we can kill the elites a little faster. Masochist is so refreshing to play because you don't have to worry about dodging enemies that much. You just get to kind of chill. I'm just hanging out here, walking into enemies, drinking this mediocre beer that I got for free when we ordered food, and winning at Brotato, so you know, life is going good. Alright, there we go. We've defeated that combination and unlocked Jeff's Shades. Plus 3% attack speed when you take damage until the end of the wave. Plus 6% damage, you take 1 damage per second, minus 8 range, and a YouTube link to the creator of the mod. So, you know, cool stuff there. Obviously, this item is incredibly powerful. It's just going to give you a massive amount of attack speed over the course of a wave. After 60 ticks of the 1 damage per second thing, it's going to give you plus 180% attack speed, so this item is incredibly broken. I'm not sure why it has the plus 6% damage and the minus 8 range. It doesn't really need those. I guess that's the head injury stats, so maybe there's a meme there that I'm not aware of. As for our economy on this run, we made 282 off the recycling machine, less than you might expect, but still pretty good. Coupon obviously was worth a lot. The baby elephant did 25,000 damage, the cyber balls did 38,000 damage, so those were okay, but not incredible. And then mostly, obviously, it was just the incredible base stats of these characters. I feel like you could very easily defeat this run just buying kind of random items, as long as you ended up buying at least some armor at some point, because this is an incredibly strong combination, so it was just fun to play a nice, simple one for a change. Alright, my friends, hope you've enjoyed this video, and of course, as always, if you have, feel free to leave a comment and like a video, and subscribe to my channel for more of this and other strategy game content. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.